Very good morning, students. Welcome back to the computer science class. Last we studied function chapter. In function chapter, what is function, what are the advantages, and how to define function with argument, without argument, then how to call a function, then what are the function types, user defined function, built-in function, lambda function, recursive function. Function which are having arguments, there are function arguments having four types: required argument, default argument, keyword argument, variable length argument. From this we studied user defined function completed, lambda function completed, built-in functions. Only one topic is remaining: compositions in function. In last class, built-in function. What are built-in functions or library functions? Built-in functions or library functions already inbuilt in Python. So some of the functions were most frequently used built-in functions. We already see with syntax, and example with the demo, Python demo output also. We can see last class. Okay, we already seen in last class. Then mathematical function also. Not only mathematical model, any other library models we can import and use it. Like in C++, include. We use hash include the header file, then the header files, any functions we can use. Likewise, you can import any model and models functions we can use. Along with the model name, we can call that function. Before that, you have to import math, small letters. Must be the first line of the code, otherwise it will show error message. This also last class we completed. Then composition in function. Composition in functions means a function contains another function. Function statement may contain another function. For example, if you call a function, that function calls one more function. That is called compositions in function. In C++ or Java, we already seen nested functions. This is also known as nested function. The value returned by a function may be used an argument for another function. That means one function is defined within the function. So inside function result will be taken as argument for the outside function. This is known as composition of functions. This is called composition. For example, if we wish to take numeric value of an expression in input from the user, we already seen. While reading data from the user by using input function, by default it read data as string only. If it is number value also consider as treated as string type only. You want to convert that one means the input function must be nested int of. We already seen. Example. For example, we seen in our program file, new file. Okay. X is equal to input of y is equal to input of s is equal to x plus y. Then print yes. This is the simple program. Okay. So if you call this, execute this function, save, compo. D Python test programs, then run it. No message given in input function, so it will prompt the value, for example 4, then 5, 45 will be displayed. How it is 45? In next chapter we are dealing strings and string manipulations. So input value, first value also, for example, if you give the message enter x, likewise enter y colon result, result is colon double quotation comma. If you run again enter x 5 6, result is 56, because this input function reads value for x, and the red value will be stored as string type only. So if you want to convert this one integer means what you have to do, int of or eval of, int of saved, I saved this or control S by using, then run by F5, again enter x, again 5, again 6. What will happen now? In previous results 56 will be displayed. Here 5 plus 6 11 will be displayed. How it happens? This input function is nested within int function. In y also input function is nested within int function. So here innermost in input function. So this is called composition. This nested function is called composition. So this value, input function's value is argument of int function. So for this is called composition of. This is called composition in functions. The value returned by function may be used as an argument for another function in a nested manner. This is called composition. For example, if we wish to take numeric value or an expression in input form, the user will take input string from the user using the function input and eval. Eval function. Eval is also a function which evaluate the given expression. So string can converted into numeric type, but expression also evaluated. We can read an expression as string, and that can be evaluated by using evaluate function. So in this example, in this textbook example, this is the example. Here eval function is outer function, input is inner function. So this is called compositions in function. Input function is the nested function of eval function. So input function's result is an argument of eval function. So to execute this, enter a number 2 3 4 5, nothing will happen. Again n1 print பண்ண சொல்லலாம். நாம என்ன சொல்லிருக்கலாம், print print n1 அப்படின்னு கொடுத்துருக்கோம். 2 3 4 5, again 3 4 5 will be printed. If you run this again, F5, enter a number 2 plus 3 minus 6 plus 9, what will happen? 8 will be displayed. So 6, here an expression evaluate function which evaluates the input results. Just without evaluate function, if you give the same input, what will happen? Enter a number, the same input. what will be displayed? The same expression will be displayed because the entire expression is treated as string only. So N1 is a string data which consists of the given value. So given value taken as expression by evaluate function. If you use input function as an composition in evaluate function, the expression will be evaluated. The same result. Copy, again paste. What will happen? 8 will be displayed. So evaluate function, reading string is an expression, means expression evaluated, then result will be stored in N1. So this is called composition. So what is meant by composition? Function is nested within another function. So inner function result will be an argument of outer function. This is called composition in function. You can write the first example also or this example also. Anyone you can write. Okay, this example. One example is enough. Here N2. Okay. Very important, or 2 or 3 mark question. Next one, Python recursive function. What is recursive function? A function calls themselves. In function types, we already completed user-defined functions. We can define function and define the task within the body of the function. Then we have to call the function. This is the user-defined function. Define the function, define the task of the function within the body of the function, then call a function. These are the important things in user-defined function. Then lambda function, unnamed function. Instead of def keyword, lambda keyword used, there is no name for that. We already seen. Similarly, built-in functions are the library functions, which are inbuilt one or predefined one, pre-written in Python language. 3 types are completed. The last type is recursive functions. Recursive functions, a function calls itself is known as recursion. You cannot write all functions as recursive functions. Depending upon the problems only, we can use this recursive function. Recursion word like loop, but sometimes it makes more sense to use recursion than loop. Recursion is loop marda. In sense, use recursion then loop. You can convert any loop to recursion. Endha loop venal enna pannalam nama recursion convert panna mudiyum. Recursive function calls itself. Idha adana definition. Calls itself. Imagine a process would iterate indefinitely if not stopped by some condition. Such process is known as infinite iteration. ஒரு ப்ராசஸிங் வந்து எப்பவுமே கண்டிஷன் எண்ட் ஆகாமல் தொடர்ந்து ரிப்பீட்டேஷன் நடந்துகிட்டே இருந்தால் அதுக்கு பேர் வந்து இன்ஃபைனைட் ஐட்ரேஷன். இன்ஃபைனைட் ஐட்ரேஷனை நம்ம ரெக்கர்சிவ்ல கொண்டு வர முடியாது. The condition that is applied in any recursive function is known as base condition. So infinite iteration அப்படிங்கிறது என்ன பண்ண முடியாது, அந்த ப்ராசஸிங் ரிப்பீட்டேட்டிவ் ப்ராசஸிங் ஸ்டாப் ஆகாது. பட் பேஸ் கண்டிஷனுங்கிறது என்ன ஆகும், ஸ்டாப் ஆகும். A base condition is must in every recursive function, otherwise it will continue to execute like an infinite loop. So base condition அப்படிங்கிறது recursive function ரொம்ப முக்கியமான பார்ட்டு. இந்த base condition கண்டிப்பாக என்ன ஆகணும், இருக்கணும் recursive functionல. அப்படி இல்லை அப்படின்னா அது என்ன ஆகுது அப்படின்னு சொல்லி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அந்த recursive function definition again and again infinite loop மாதிரி எக்ஸிக்யூட் ஆகிட்டே போகும். Overview of how recursive function works. Recursive function is called by some external code. First time recursive function external code தான் கால் பண்ண முடியும். Then function குள்ள இருக்கிற ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்டே திரும்ப அதை கால் பண்ணிக்கும். If the base condition is met, the program give meaningful output and exits. ஸ்டார்டிங்லேயே எடுத்தோன்னே செக் பண்ணி பார்க்கணும் பேஸ் கண்டிஷனுக்கு வந்துடுச்சா அப்படிங்கிறது. அப்படி வந்துருச்சுன்னா அப்போவே எக்ஸிட் ஆயிரும். இல்லை அப்படின்னா ஃபங்க்ஷனை அதுவே அது கால் பண்ணிக்கிட்டே இருக்கும். Otherwise the function does some required processing and calls itself to continue recursion. இதான் recursive function உடைய working steps. இது ரொம்ப முக்கியமாக 2 or 3 மார்க்கில் கேட்பாங்க. What is recursive function? Write the types. Give example அது 3 mark question ஆயிடுது. ஸோ இப்போ நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுறோம் அப்படின்னா இங்கே புக்கில் எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. இந்த எக்ஸாம்பிளில் மிஸ்டேக்ஸ் இருக்குது. இந்த லாஸ்ட் 2 lines மெயின் கால் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட். ஸோ இன்டென்ஷன் டெஃப் நேர் இருக்கணும். இந்த டெஃப்ங்கிறது நேர் எங்கே வருதோ அந்த நேர் இருக்கணும். அதான் இந்த கேப் இருக்கக்கூடாது. முன்னாடி இருக்கிற கேப் இருக்கக்கூடாது. ஓகேவா? இந்த ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்டை நான் திரும்பவும் நான் இங்கே எழுதுகிறேன். பைத்தான் ப்ரோக்ராமிங் கோடிங்கில் நம்ம எழுதுவோம். So this must be indented. So def near இருக்கணும் இந்த print. இந்த ரெண்டுமே கால் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட். ஃபங்க்ஷனை கால் பண்ணுற கால் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட். 2 டைம் ஃபேக்ட் ஃபங்க்ஷனை கால் பண்ணுறாங்க. 5 ஃபேக்டோரியல் 0 ஃபேக்டோரியல் அப்படிங்கிறாங்க. ஃபேக்டோரியல்னா என்ன? n ஃபேக்டோரியல் இஸ் ஈக்குவல் டு 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into எக்ஸெட்ரா அப் டு n வரைக்கும் மல்டிப்ளை பண்ணணும். எல்லா நேச்சுரல் நம்பர்ஸையும் மல்டிப்ளை பண்ணணும். அதான் ஃபேக்டோரியல். ஸோ ஃபேக்ட் ஆஃப் n, ஃபேக்ட் ஆஃப் 0 ஃபேக்டோரியல் அண்ட் 1 ஃபேக்டோரியல் எல்லாம் 1 தான் வேல்யூ. ஸோ ஃபேக்ட் ஃபங்க்ஷனை கால் பண்ணும்போது 0 பாஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க. 0 எடுத்தோடனே 0 இஸ் ஈக்குவல் டு 0, எஸ் மீட் ஆயிடுச்சு. உடனே ரிட்டன் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் எக்ஸிக்யூட் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா அந்த ஃபங்க்ஷனுடைய ப்ராசஸிங்கே முடிஞ்சிடும். அப்போ 1ங்கிற வேல்யூ இங்கே ரிட்டன் ஆகும். பிரிண்ட் 1, அவ்வளோதான். 1 பிரிண்ட் பண்ணிடும். 5 ஃபேக்டோரியல் என்ன நடக்கு? திரும்பவும் இன்னொரு டைம் ஃபங்க்ஷன் கால் பண்ணுறோம். அடுத்த ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்லையும் இதே ஃபங்க்ஷனை கால் பண்ணுறோம். த சேம் ஃபங்க்ஷன் அகெயின் கால்டு பை த நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட். Then this time argument 5 is passed, so which is received by n. Here the condition is checked. So first time called by this call statement, function is invoked. Here n5 is equal to 0, false, so this will not be executed. Then else part executed. Else part what is it? Return n. That means return TURN, return 5 into fact of 5 minus 1. That means this call statement, this fact 5 calls this function, fact of 5 minus 1 calls the same function. So this time what will happen? 5 minus 1, fact of 5 minus 1, 4. So 4 here. 4 compared with 4 is equal to 0? No. So again else part execute, return n. So what happened here? 5 into, then similarly 4 into fact of 4 minus 1 will be called. For next iteration, 4 minus 1, 3. 3 is not equal to 0. Again n into. Here the input is 4 minus 1 input is 3. So 3 into 3 into 4 minus 1 and change it into 3 minus 1 for this call. Again the function is called 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 means n value becomes 2. 2 is not equal to 0. Again 2 into 2 minus 1 fact of. So 2 into 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1, 1, 1. Fact of 1. Fact of 1. 1 is not equal to 0. Again 1 into fact of n minus 1. So again 1 into 1 minus 1. So fact of 1 minus 1, fact of 0. Now the nested function. Python recursively construct the nested one. Return 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 into fact of 1 minus 1. That means 0. 0 means return 1. 0 means return 1. So here fact of 0 or 1 minus 1 replaced by 1. Okay. Then these all the conversions are returned finally. All the conversions return 5 into 4 into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into etc. up to n times. So what will be the result you can obtain? 5 factorial means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 multiplied. What will be the result? 120 is the result. 1 and 120 is the result. Okay, for this call. For this call, 5 means 120. For this call, 7 means. 7 means. So 120 into 5, 6 into 7. fs. Cancel. Yes. So 5 factorial is 120, 7 factorial is equal to 5040. So one call statement is enough. 2 times function is called or 1 time function is called. That's all. 40 is 4 factorial, 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. F5, 24. So recursive function, this fact function called externally for the first time, but in this function itself, one statement calls itself the fact function. So this is called nested function. One of the function statement calls the function again, means that is called nested, that is called recursive function. So function calls themselves. Function call itself, function calls itself or themselves. How? What are the steps? Call some external code. If the base condition is met, then the program gives meaningful output and exit. Base condition is met means exit here. If it is not met means, else means do some processing, then the function is do required processing and then calls itself. So in your textbook, the two print statements, 2 times this function is called. 2 separate statements or 2 are main statements, so it must be intended in same level of def keyword level. That is the only mistakes given in your textbooks, corrected. That's all. Today's class is over. So you can go through all the points to remember everything. You can complete the questions, question and answers, all the question and answers. What are the question and answers? Still not yet right for answer. You have to complete all the exercise question and answers. Okay. Very, very important one. This is the today's assignment. One more thing, I already sent in WhatsApp practical programs. There are 10 programs. You can write one program. Okay. With the choice question is PY1, PY10. So totally PY10 exercises are there. From this you can complete PY1, PY2. PY1 consists of 2 programs, PY2 consists of 2 programs. These 4 programs you can do itself. These programs are given, programs and outputs are given. This material is already sent to you. The same material already sent to you. So first 2 PY1, PY2, PY1 AB, PY2 AB. All the programs you have to complete yourself. 2 or 3 times, write again and again. In this exercise, there is some mistakes in intention level or some logical mistakes is there. If you find it, you can correct yourself. Otherwise, ask in next class. Okay. Final materials. These are the things. 12th Computer Science. These 60 pages. Python practical programs. Practical EM. That is I shown already. These 2 are important one. Python practicals. Practical EM I already shown here. This is the practical EM. Okay. How the mark, how many programs, how the mark, split up marks for your external marks. Practical marks 20 marks, internal marks 10 marks, and external marks 20 marks. 20 marks given. This is this file. Okay. Next one is Python practical programs 1 to 5. This is very easier one. You can follow this one for practical or any other thing. Okay. 1 to 5 is already there. Open it. Okay. Okay. These are the programs already done in Python coding. This is the intention level in correct format. But in your practical, government given practical textbooks, intention level having so many mistakes. Intention level having so many mistakes. So you can, I close this one in this. Okay. This is the corrected one. These two are corrected one. This one is having so many mistakes. So you can identify and correct it by yourselves, or otherwise you can go through other two practical materials. In this practical material, once Python coding entered in Python shell and output window will show this. The screenshot of the same program, screenshot of same program written in Python shell, once typed and saved, exercise 1A with the name exercise 1A. Then executed means the output will be, output window shows. Okay, these are the two important things. So likewise you can see all the programs here. What is the coding? Once code is entered in Python program shell window, how it is looks like, then output how it is look like. You can see all these things in another file. One more file is there, Python programs with output. This is very easier one, because first to 5 one you can complete means in your practical programs in first to 5 is from any one question is raised from first to 5 and its alternative question is raised from 6 to 10. So you have to thorough first to 5 compulsory. So in this first two, for the completed 3 lessons in unit 2, first 2 exercise you have to complete. This is your another work. Complete it by yourself. Okay. Thank you, students. Any doubt, ask in comments or WhatsApp group or private WhatsApp number. Okay. Thank you, students. Bye. We will meet in next class. So we completed 3 lessons finally in unit 2. Only one lesson is bending, strings and string manipulation, sorry, lists and tuples. Then next one, in practical programs you have to complete first 2 programs by yourself by writing it. If you have computer and if you installed Python means you can execute by Python programming. Okay, Python shell you can execute it. Okay, otherwise we will done at our school later on. When the school reopens, we can done it later on. Before that, you have to write it twice, thrice yourself. Okay. In practice, it is essential one. Thank you, students. Thank you. Bye. We will meet in next class.